All right, buckle up, people. Welcome to our road trip across North America. I'm Mike, and this is Sophie, my co-pilot, navigator, and general voice of reason.
I'm also the one who remembers to pack, read the maps, and, figure out where we're actually going, which is important when your plan consists of head west until you hit the ocean.
That plan worked out fine last time. Anyway, today we're sharing some of the most amazing road trips you can take in North America, all from the comfort of our trusty camper van.
Trusty? The last time we trusted this thing, it overheated in the desert.
That was one time, and it's got character.
Sure, let's go with that. So whether you're planning your next big adventure or just want to live vicariously through us, stick around. These road trips are legendary. First up, one of the most iconic road trips in the United States, the Pacific Coast Highway. It runs along the California coastline from San Francisco to Los Angeles. And trust me, you'll never get tired of the ocean views.
Yeah, it's like driving through a postcard, except you're not getting yelled at for using the wrong filter. Plus, you get to roll down the windows and blast some classic rock while the salty sea breeze hits you. Can't beat it.
You mean you can beat it if you remember to bring a jacket? The breeze is freezing and this van has, let's say, less than stellar insulation.
Details, Sophie, details. But seriously, along the route you'll hit some amazing spots. Big Sur, with its towering cliffs and redwoods, is jaw-dropping. And if you're a fan of quirky stops, don't miss the elephant seal rookery at Piedras Blancas.
Where you'll get to see elephant seals being, well, themselves. Spoiler alert, they're not exactly graceful, but they're adorable in a clumsy, blubbery kind of way.
And let's not forget the iconic Bixby Creek Bridge. It's that super photogenic bridge that people always stop at for pictures.
Yeah, where you'll probably have to wait your turn because everyone else had the same idea. But worth it for the views. Just watch out for cyclists. This road is popular with bikers.
Or in my case, watch out for Sophie yelling at me to slow down every 5 minutes. All right, next up, the Mother Road, Route 66. This one's for the nostalgic, the adventurers, and anyone who's ever dreamed of cruising through small-town America with nothing but the open road ahead.
Also for anyone who has a spare tire, because Route 66 has a lot of character, which is a nice way of saying some stretches are bumpy.
Hey, it's part of the charm! This route runs from Chicago to Los Angeles, though you don't have to do the whole thing to enjoy it. It's packed with Americana, from retro diners to old-school motels and vintage gas stations.
Don't forget the world's largest rocking chair in Fanning, Missouri. Because obviously, why wouldn't you stop for a giant chair?
And let's not leave out Cadillac Ranch in Texas, where a bunch of Cadillacs are buried nose first in the ground. You can bring spray paint and add your own touch to the art. It's practically encouraged.
Yeah, because nothing says classic American road trip like spray painting cars in the desert. But Route 66 is also great for food. Every little town has a diner serving up pancakes bigger than your head.
Haha. Yeah, and Sophie here has a talent for finding every historic diner along the way, which means I've eaten my weight in hash browns.
Hey, you're not complaining when the plates show up. Now, if you want a road trip with scenery that'll make you feel like you've stepped into a painting, check out the Blue Ridge Parkway. It stretches from Virginia to North Carolina, winding through the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, this one's for the folks who like their mountains misty and their trees all shades of green. Oh, and their roads curvy. There's something about driving through those rolling hills and seeing the fog hanging just above the treetops.
Plus, the fall colors are unreal. If you time it right, you'll hit peak foliage, and the entire road is basically on fire with oranges, reds, and yellows.
Yeah, but time it right means knowing exactly when peak foliage happens, which for the record I didn't last time, so we ended up seeing a lot of bare branches.
Let's just say, not every tree was in its full autumn glory, but there's plenty to see even outside of fall. You can stop at overlooks, hike trails, or visit the Blue Ridge Music Center if you're into traditional Appalachian music.
Or you can just drive and let the world's most scenic screensaver play out in front of you. It's also a nice break from the fast-paced highways. You just cruise and take it all in. Okay, time to get adventurous. If you want a road trip that's as wild as it gets, pack your bags for the Alaska Highway. This one starts in British Columbia and winds all the way up to Alaska.
Emphasis on pack your bags, because you're going to need supplies. This is no quick jaunt to the grocery store. It's over 1,300 miles of raw, untamed wilderness.
Yeah, you're basically driving through nature's backyard, and it's huge. You'll pass through rugged mountains, glaciers, and forests so thick they look like something out of a fairy tale.
A fairy tale where the characters get stuck in the middle of nowhere because they forgot to fill up the gas tank. Seriously? Plan your fuel stops? This isn't like driving down the coast where there's a gas station every 5 miles.
Ha ha ha, I learned that the hard way. But there are plenty of towns along the way where you can stock up, and don't forget to stop at Leard River Hot Springs. It's like a natural spa in the middle of the wilderness.
And wildlife? Oh, you'll see plenty. Bears, moose, bison, it's like a zoo, but without the fences. Just, don't get too close.
Right, Sophie tried to feed a bison once. Spoiler, it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's definitely what happened. But seriously, the Alaska Highway is an epic adventure. Just make sure your vehicle is up for it. I don't recommend doing it in a camper van from the 70s. Next up, we're heading to the Mississippi River for the Great River Road. This route runs alongside the Mississippi from Minnesota all the way down to Louisiana, following the river's twists and turns through 10 states.
This one's all about the scenery and history. You'll see everything from charming small towns to historic plantations and riverboats. It's like stepping back in time while driving next to one of the most famous rivers in the world.
And there's plenty to stop for along the way, like the Mark Twain Boyhood Home and Museum in Hannibal, Missouri, if you're a fan of classic literature.
Or if you're like me, you can stop at the Mississippi River Museum in Dubuque, Iowa, and learn all about river navigation and steamboats.
Right, because you're totally going to become a steamboat captain one day.
You never know. But really, this road trip gives you a taste of America's heartland. There's a certain rhythm to driving along the river. It's peaceful, and you really get to experience life at a slower pace.
Plus, it ends in Louisiana, which means Cajun food. I'm already dreaming about gumbo.
Same, and maybe a little Zydeco music to go with it. Before we wrap up, we've got a few honorable mentions, quick road trips that pack a punch. First up, the Overseas Highway in Florida.
Yeah, you're basically driving over the ocean from Miami to Key West. It's only 113 miles long, but the views of the turquoise water? Incredible.
And if you're looking for something more remote, there's the Icefields Parkway in Alberta, Canada. You're surrounded by glaciers, mountains, and some of the bluest lakes you've ever seen. It's like driving through a postcard.
And don't forget the Going to the Sun Road in Montana in Glacier National Park. It's a short drive, but the scenery is jaw-dropping, winding through the mountains with views of valleys and glaciers.
Basically, North America is a road tripper's paradise. No matter where you are, there's an adventure waiting just down the road. Well, that's it for today's road trip guide. We've covered coastlines, mountains, rivers, and even glaciers, all from our trusty van.
Trusty is a stretch, but sure. We hope you found some inspiration for your next road trip adventure.
And if you did, or if you just enjoyed listening to us bicker, don't forget to subscribe. Who knows where we'll head next?
Hopefully somewhere with a mechanic.
Haha, yeah, probably. Until then, happy travels.